All right, peace, peace, peace. Well, first and foremost, man, hopefully the Most High in your house shall blessing your day. By His mercies you are consumed. We're alive in the Most High in your house shall body, and two, we're naturally alive, man. And we want to get into this, man. Honestly, because I'm actually watching the class now. Of one of the older classes from the brother of Assembly of Firstborn. Shout out to him, man. But I recommend y'all check that out, man. It's the channel YouTube, like a bunch of good classes about the testimony, the witness, the gospel of the Most High house y'all throughout the scriptures, man. Something to increase our faith, honestly. That's what the gospel is for. Honestly, also too, man, other brothers like Kwame Call, Shalimah, Akawar, Brother Elijah, and all the other brothers, or congregations or camps, whatever that nature, or assemblies that are preaching the gospel, man, the actual gospel of about Christ, about Yahushua, man. So that's is what it is with that. But I want to get into this because he's kind of talking about something that we just shared this morning, man, on one of the reels with the Sopranos, when him and Carmela, Tony and Carmela got an argument about AJ sending him to military school, man. But this kind of goes into why, honestly, because honestly, the Most High House's will is for our betterment, honestly, because this why, because like the brother Assembly of Firstborn in the class I'm watching now, he was saying, man, because from the outside looking in, like something like that's why we're akin to women and children. We're akin to women, well, that Jeremiah 6:2, like we always say here, because from the outside looking in from afar, you think things like women empowerment and stuff like that, and women's rights and all stuff like that. It seems good, but actually it's destroying them, and that's why we see the modern this modern Western woman in the condition the way we are, no matter what the nationality, what nation she comes from. Of course, our women, of course, honestly, but it's trickling down, especially on this Western side, honestly, because the whole world doesn't feel this way. It's really a Western liberal type of thing, but it's akin to us, man doing what, doing what they want to do, man. That's why the Most High House are doing His will is actually for our betterment, man. Because when you give entities the power and freedom, that never had it before, they're going to destroy themselves, man. And that's what we actually about to get into Galatians 5, man. Just like an example, But no, we're going to get to that example a little later. But let's grab this too. Galatians chapter 5, verse 13. Galatians 5 and 13. It says, "For brethren, ye have been called unto liberty, only use not liberty for occasion to the flesh, but serve one another." So see this liberty that we had and freedom that we had through Yahushua, man, through the witness, the testimony, the gospel, new covenant, that after his ministry he came to do after his resurrection that we have now. That's not us liberty us to be carnal, be fleshly, man. That's why we got people out here that they play with the grace and mercy of the Most High house, man. Even myself at times, I still got to check that and self-examine. And honestly too, man, even this aside too, or I say something something that's really, it's not always sin per se, honestly, but there's things that are again not the Most High House's will, man. It could be something not even bad, but that's why the Most High House's will comes first. But yeah, it's just really that, that's what we really want to do, man. Because even on the natural tip, man, because when you give a person or a party or a group or an entity that never has power before and liberty and freedom, they're going to destroy themselves more than likely, unless it's not guided over some type of rules, regulations, or conducts that we should have. It's that should be instilled. They're going to destroy themselves, man. So let's get Galatians chapter 5 and verse 13. It says, "For brethren, ye have called unto liberty, and only not to use liberty, not liberty for occasion to the flesh, but to love, but by love to serve one another." Exactly, man. Because listen, man, that's even the word goes into how wives and should be serving their husbands. Man, we had to serve each other. That's what the word Ephesians goes into. Even above, when it says, before it says women serve the husband in Ephesians 5, it says we serve one another, man. That's what it is. Build each other up, serving one another. But that's neither here nor there. But honestly, let's get to Jeremiah 31:22 to the point that we made earlier, because Honestly, man, because when you do that, that's why this stuff like that is really to their detriment, man. It's just like it's not, and when we talk about the a woman, we're always not talking about the natural woman, man, because like when you give man to like this man like this man woman just to like liberty to do what they want to do, man, they're going to destroy themselves. That's why even like I remember talking to one of the brothers years ago, man. Down the brothers that would teach down the camp downtown in Philly, man. I don't want to say their names, but one of the brothers, elder brothers, man. He said, man, even after the Most High Yahushua, like destroyed them in the flood, man. It was actually an act of mercy because they were destroying themselves. Actually, let's grab that Wisdom of Solomon, man, because that's what he said about the Egypt, man. Like he said, man, the gods that they were worshiping and how they're living, man, that was worse than the plagues that the Most High Yahushua hit them with after destroying them, man. So let's look at that, man. So let's look at that real quick. Yeah, Wisdom of Solomon chapter the darkness that we're in, man, because they were out with the Most High House, so you're out you're without the light, so you're in darkness, man. Like you know how it is to be like I've been like to I used to work for a zoo, and we went to a summer trip one time, man. You ever been in the wilderness in the dark at nighttime? How dark it is, man. You couldn't see nothing. More just being in the dark, man. Like shoot, y'all seen like quote unquote like I like horror movies as well, but y'all quote unquote Halloween just passed, man. You all know it's all them horror movies stuff like that. What like is being in the dark, man. How you can't see nothing. You can't see nothing, man. That's because you don't know what's like in front of you and like you don't know what's coming behind you. You don't know where you're going, man. So that's is what it is. So let's get this Wisdom of Solomon chapter. What you want, girl? Go sit down. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 17 verse 21. It says, over them was spread a heavy night, and the image that the darkness should which will afterward receive them, but they were unto themselves more grievous in the darkness. So yeah, even when the Most High House in Exodus 10, man, had them with a plague in darkness, man, in Exodus 10, man, it was worse than like how they were living was honestly worse than that darkness, man. And that was even in that. That was even in the law. That was to show you the children of the light versus children of darkness. That's what that whole thing was even about. But yeah, man. But when you give let certain people or entities get power, let them do what they want to do, man, it's a detriment to themselves. That's what Tobit 12 and 10 is about, man. He that sinneth his sin is commits is against his own soul, man. Like let's just grab that real quick, cause I don't want to misquote it. Tobit 12 and verse 10. It says, "But they that sin are enemies to their own life." Exactly, man. Exactly. Yep. And that's how that Romans 5 we were enemies against the Most High House through that sin. But yeah, man, let's get this Jeremiah chapter 31 verse 22. It says, "How long wilt thou go about, O thou backsliding daughter? For the Lord hath created a new thing, and a woman shall compass a man." Exactly, man. So when you give entities and stuff like that, that's why we see these modern, Western women and stuff like that doing the things they're doing, because it's actually not for the betterment. All this women empowerment stuff, the mother goddess, divine feminine worship, feminist stuff is actually for their detriment, man. But it's no different than like a young man or even teenagers or children, man. That's because what happens, because I didn't go to college, but more than likely, man, especially if you children and teenagers and young adults that came up, I don't want to say young adults, but teenagers that came up, young adults, you could say that too, borderline, came up in a strict environment, man, especially like that, it's a really strict environment, man. When they go to college, what do they usually do? They get into all types of craziness, man, because they now have freedom. That's why they do all types of things, and which really can affect their lives and things of that nature. So yeah, now is that always the case with that? No, because some actually sticking to the by what their parents and stuff like that instilled in them. They just have discipline. They might do make mistakes here and there, but no, they're not going to do that. But for the most part, that's what usually happens, man. That's why because I've been working. I think I told y'all this before. We talk about this all the time. Like even if you brothers and sisters do, I've been working with you for 10 years now, since 2015, working different schools, things of that nature. But now I would say honestly, from comparing even when I started out now, the parents are even worse. So way worse now. But that's that's what they don't understand. That's what this Cyrac is about to get into. We're about to get into, because honestly, for parents that always do, like, that know that children are pretty much wicked and evil, or do things, or misbehaved, or rude, ill mannered, like pretty much like that. When they always defend them, one, it's really uh, um they see the self reflection of their bad parenting, so that's why their pride comes in. They get very defensive, and two, they're justifying and enabling behavior. They don't realize that that's cool, but once they get an age now, they're gonna be a terror in your life, man. That's why Cyrac even says this, man. So like, don't cocker your child, man. Don't cocker your son or daughter, man. Don't let them do what they want to do, because when they grow up, they're gonna be a terror in your life, honestly. And that's to be a Frankenstein and be a monster that you created. So, and you let happen. So, um, yeah, let's get Ecclesiastes. No, chapter 30 verse. We could start at verse. No, we start at verse 9 to the point. It says, "Conquer thy child, and he shall make thee afraid. Play with him; he will bring thee to heaviness." Yep. Verse 10, laugh not with him, least thou sorrow with him, least thou gnash thy teeth in thy hand. Exactly, man. So that's just what it is. And you know what, too? I actually just happened that the other day at the school, man. Well, we y'all know. I see this all the time in real life. Y'all might have family members or know people in y'all neighborhood or schools, or grew up seeing this, but more likely, like, well, this always happened, but like, more likely, man, we seen this witnesses, like, you got parents, stuff like that. You got when you had the, like, children, like, cussing or whatever, or acting like, their conduct is very rude and disrespectful, and the parents laugh at it, honestly. And that actually happened the other week at the school. Me and one of the staff members there, we was looking at each other and shaking our hands, like, yo, you're her mother right there. You gonna laugh at this? Like, it's real, but see, that's why I was saying what it says, but once she gets of age, if she's on stays on this trajectory, she's gonna be a terror in your life, man. So, but you don't have nobody to blame but yourself, man, honestly. But and that can even go into that. They don't have to be even rude and disrespectful a lot of times too. That usually is the case too. But giving them everything that they want, so they become entitled and spoiled and selfish. Yeah, that's another thing on that. On that type of dichotomy as well. That's why Proverbs says, listen, you give a servant everything they want, from pretty much they're gonna ruin everything, man. And that, shoot, I witnessed this, and I'm pretty sure you brothers and sisters witnessed this in corporate America. Like, gosh, you could tell those people never got told no. Like, those people that work there got never told no, and like, those Edomites, man, those people there. Like, it could be whatever, because it's not really, it's a hearts and man thing. It's not really nationality thing, but really, I'm saying that because, like, they're those really in this kingdom, this side of the kingdom, man, this part of the world, man. They in Esau's can they really run the corporate world, to be honest with you, man. But it could be any other thing. That's just anything too, man. You could be Jake, you could be from Edom, you could be Esau, you could be Ishmael, you could be whatever nationality or quote unquote race you can be. If you get everything you want, honestly, for the most part, and certain things are instilled in you, you're going to be like that. But that's neither here nor there. But it says, verse 11, it says, "Give him no liberty in his youth, and wink not at his folly." So yeah, gotta nip that above them, man. You can't be letting them do what they want, man, or they could leave, honestly, for real, man, because that's just what it is. Verse 12, it says, "Bow down thy neck while he is young, and to beat him on the sides while he is a child. Lest he wax stubborn and be disobedient unto thee, and so bring sorrow to thy heart." So yeah, man. Now sometimes, not honestly too, that's another nuanced, balanced thing, because that's very true. Sometimes a lot of these young children, man, they need a whooping, they need a beating, man. Honestly, but that I think with Jake and stuff like that, like the whole, like, as they say, like the brother sent me for first one says, that's a lot of times too. That's his nigga raising a lot of times, when you just beat. No, man, you gotta have discipline and chastisement. This in a different way. Like, saying why what they're doing is wrong. Okay, you can do this, but this is gonna happen. If you do this is gonna happen. Or you could do what you want to do, but you can't do it here. You could get out the house. It don't matter, man. So stuff like that, honestly. So not always just like, there. Don't get twisted. There's times actually to they give them a little whooping here and there, man. But that shouldn't always be our moral operandi or the first choice, man. Honestly, this is my, I don't know. This is my perspective, but that's just what it is. But point being is that all these things that we're talking about here, it's just similar to, like, spiritually, man. The Most High in your house shall not let us do what we want to do, man. How that, if you do what you want to do, is actually to our detriment, man. Not doing His will, like their will, like first, man. Because honestly, or using that freedom as like for the flesh, man. Because we'll end up destroying ourselves, man. Honestly, in this time and in the next for the term. But really, I was talking about this yesterday with one of my brothers, man. He said, man, like he's telling me how his biggest fear is not making it to the kingdom, man, or the eternal judgment, man. I was like, yeah, I was like, that's one of mine too. But honestly, man, being like cut off on this side as well, man. Because listen, the Most High House is our God, man. Without them, there's no life. Because pretty much you could be living, but you'll be dead. So that's just is what it is, man. So let's get to 2 Ezra 7 real quick, man. Because that's why it's the beauty of it. Because he tells us what to do and what not to do, man. 2 Ezra chapter 7 verse 21. It says, "For Yahweh have given straight commandments." To such as came and what they should do to live, and they came what they should do to avoid punishments. Yeah, so this is why he tells us what to do, what not to do, man. And that's really what like lean to your own understanding is kind of what we talked about yesterday, man. Is when like not think you can't trust or think for yourself, honestly, no, but it's really doing your own will above the Most High House will, honestly, and that's what it is, man. And so yeah, man. So hopefully this is edifying, man. So much love to y'all brothers and sisters. So yeah, peace.